People are the primary driving factor in any project, but especially software development. Managers will often say this, but their actions will sometimes prove otherwise. There are different roles that people will have. They need to know what is expected of them and what they need to be able to perform the task with the skill required. Unfortunately, putting 2 or 3 unskilled people in a task that one skilled person should be doing rarely works. Yet, I've seen this many times in many companies. Whether it be something like Boeing with their 737 we talked about, or other places that may not have such dire consequences, it still happens. I know of one company that worked hard at keeping employees because they understood the value of the knowledge and experience that they had. They were bought out and the new company came in and worked at ridding themselves of a lot of their older employees because they cost more. They in turn hired lots of young people without experience and without enough people to mentor them to give them the experience. This in turn has caused them to lose a lot of their market share and thus revenue. Let's look at some of the different types of people who will be involved in a software project and how we can work with them. We've already talked about stakeholders, and we know that they come in various forms. Now, this list of stakeholders is going to be of the more liberal use of the term stakeholder, which we talked about earlier. So here we're going to have things like senior managers who define business issues. Therefore, they're going to have a strong influence on the project. The project or technical managers will plan, motivate, organize, and control the practitioners who do the actual development work. Then the practitioners or software developers are going to deliver the technical skills necessary to engineer a product or application. Customers will specify requirements for the software, while end users are going to interact with the software once it's released into production. It's worth noting that end users and customers may be the same or different depending upon the type of applications that you're building. Team leaders can be helpful if they have technical skills, but more importantly, they need to have people skills to help lead their team. Let's talk about several ways in which they can help. First is motivation, the ability to encourage technical people to produce to their best ability. Organization, their ability to mold existing or invent new processes that enable the concept to be translated into a product. Ideas and innovation, the ability to encourage people to create and feel creative even when they must work within a set of established boundaries. They need to be good at problem solving so they can figure out who needs to go where in the development process and get the problems that arise solved, even if they don't solve the actual problem themselves. The software development group is another group of people you need to focus on because of how much they're going to be working with the project themselves. The best team structure depends upon the management style of your organization, the number of people who will populate the team, their skill levels, and the overall problem difficulty. Agile teams or any other of the team structures can be used here. It's best to use what works, however, at your company. There are many books written about different team structures. Sometimes it's a single team structure, sometimes it's a collection of them. Because of the number of them, I'm not going to worry about going into the individual and multiple types of team structures here, because that would do a disservice to those other resources. Regardless of the team structure that you choose, these will be the developers who are working on a project to make sure it's completed, and therefore you need to work with them to get the best out of them.